when Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o, one of Africa's most profound thinker and writer, declared that language is both a means of communication and a carrier of culture. It wasn't merely being poetic, it was diagnosing the heart of Africa's struggle with identity, power, and liberation. Language does more than strings of words together. It shapes how we see the world and, more importantly, how we see ourselves. And for Africa, the story of language is inseparable from the story of colonization. When Europe carved Africa into colonies, it didn't just conquer land, it conquered minds. European powers understood that to control a people, you must reshape their worldview. Schools punished children for speaking their mother tongue. English, French, and Portuguese became the gateway to success and modernity, while African languages were branded backward, tribal, and unfit for intellectual discourse. This linguistic displacement was not accidental, it was a weapon. To think in the colonizers' language was to dream in their worldview. To be educated was to be alienated from your own cultural roots. Ngũgĩ called this the cultural bomb, the erasure of identity and internalization of inferiority. Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o made a radical choice. He abandoned writing in English and returned to his mother tongue, Gikuyu. To him, reclaiming language was reclaiming freedom. His plays and novels in Gikuyu were not just literature, they were acts of resistance and affirmations that African languages could carry complex thoughts, political vision, and artistic beauty equal to any European tongue. By choosing Gikuyu, Ngũgĩ forced us to confront uncomfortable questions. 1. If our languages cannot be the vehicles of science, governance, and philosophy, are we truly free? If our children must think in French or English before they can think of themselves as intelligent, what does that say about the value we place on our own heritage? Language shapes mindset, and mindset shapes destiny. A continent that cannot dream in its own language risks building futures on borrowed imaginations. If African language remains sidelined, our economic policies, our education system, and even our creativity will continue to echo someone else's narrative. But the tide is shifting, from Swahili gaining continental recognition in the African Union to digital platforms emerging in Hausa, Yoruba, Amharic, and Zulu. There is a growing recognition that the future must be multilingual, that Africa must think in its own voice. The struggle for Africa's liberation did not end with political independence. It continues in the classroom, the newsroom, the publishing house, and the digital space, wherever languages live. Educators must integrate African languages into formal schooling alongside global languages. Africans must stop apologizing for their languages and instead wield them as tools of pride and innovation, because to reclaim our language is to reclaim our minds, and to reclaim our minds is to reclaim our future. Africa's destiny cannot be written only in English or French. It must be spoken, sung, coded, and dreamed in Igbo, Wolof, Swahili, Amharic, Sona, Arabic, and beyond. Language is power. Let us wield it for liberation, not bondage.
Voice of Africa by Africans.